So, anyone who follows me knows I love indie animation. That's probably one of my most favorite things in the world is people creating things and telling stories through animation. And this was shared over on Twitter with me by a bunch of different people. Gaslight District. When I first saw it, just looking at it, I'm not a big fan of 3D animation. I will always prefer hand drawn type animations over 3D stuff. But with this Gaslight District show, it's very unique. It doesn't look like other shows. It has its own style, its own, a very. When you just see this in motion, sometimes it gets a little choppy, but that's to its like artistic, the way that the whole way is being produced. It's not like 120 frames, super smooth, but it matches the themes of the show. So I'll give them that. The animation is stellar. Character designs a little gruesome on the gross side, especially to do like close-ups and stuff. No, Ren and Stimpy would do a close-up and it'd be like really gross. They kind of do that in this show too a little bit, but overall, I just visually they knocked it out of the park completely. Voice acting is really really good too. All the characters, when you look at them, they sound the way you think they look like that. Hey, that guy probably sounds like this, and he totally does. They nailed the voice acting. Where things get interesting is the story. Since this is a pilot, they do a really good job of selling you on the story and the world, and they don't tell you what happened, but they show you what's going on in the world now. So basically, Earth screwed itself over, probably through nuclear war, through screwing up the planet, all that kind of stuff. So we see like what looks like cities underwater. Then above it, there's like this big city that's floating, and I'm assuming that's the Gaslight District. Is it the only city left in the world? Who knows? But apparently, human beings, through like perversion of science and stuff, they made themselves immortal, but they're like ghouls now. Everyone's like a monster. There's an old PS1 video game called Baroque that kind of had a similar thing where humanity screwed itself over because it was messing around with things they shouldn't have been messing around with, and it turned everyone into like grotesque versions of themselves, and that's kind of what happened here. So they all like pray to this black hand thing. It makes you immortal, but it turns you into a twisted, nasty freak of a thing. So you're just like this nasty monster now. There are no more humans. But there's a legend that a human will be born from an angel's egg, and this human will spell the doom for all, their way of life. Which isn't all that great. Would it be so terrible for this world to end because it is just a nightmare world? We get into a car chase. These people are chasing this other guy, and we get introduced to all the main characters one by one, and it's these characters are weird. Very like classic monsters, like this guy's like, oh, obviously he's like a butcher guy, and then there's like a slime guy. There's a dude who's just it's like a loaf of bread for a head. It's like a big loaf of bread. Oh, okay. And then you have like this mummy girl. I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't really seem to have any powers, but all the other people have like abilities. This butcher guy, he gets like angry, and then like his mind will shock, and then he'll get like these really really like angry episodes where he becomes like a maniac. Very dangerous. He just has like these really bad mood swings. But since everyone's immortal and they're shooting guns at each other, they can't kill each other. Later on in the episode, we see something where it's like, okay, is that how you kill someone? This guy got shot through the head with a sniper rifle, and he's still like fighting. So how do you kill anyone in this show? Like, is it even possible to kill anybody? I'm assuming if you blew someone up into a million pieces, they'd be dead, or if you burned them. But it looks like you could chop off someone's head and it won't kill him. Like, what the heck is that all about? So they're chasing this guy. They're trying to kill him. And they don't even know why they're trying to kill him. Like, oh, we're just getting paid. Let's do it. But we see, throughout the story a little bit that we find out this mummy girl is the child from the legend because she bleeds black blood. And that's like how you know it's a human, which I thought was weird because why wouldn't she bleed red blood? Like because everyone else has like purple blood, like and hers is red. What's the significance of that? Again, lots of questions, but that's something a pilot should do. It should give you tons of questions so you want to find things out. But they finally catch this guy, and I think in a horrific way to get rid of somebody, they just to put cement block on your feet to give you the cement shoes and just dump you in the ocean. You sink to the bottom of the ocean, and since no one can die and you're immortal, you're stuck down there. And there's a whole bunch of the people down there. So I guess that's what these people do. They're like hitmen. You know, there was another show about people from like a hell world and they were hitmen, but it sucked. I don't know. I mean, I totally lost track of what that show was. Super funny how they have very similar premises, but this one kind of did it a lot better. So they also run a restaurant, you know, like Italian, like mobster movies, like where they run restaurants and they're hitmen and stuff. Like it's like the same kind of thing. So they're going around talking and she wants to join the gang and be like an official member of the gang, but her de facto father, the butcher guy, like doesn't want her to join the gang. And he's like, look, you have all your original body parts. I don't want you to be, it's like, oh, I'm just like you guys. It's like, no, I don't want you to be like us. We're like monsters. We're all destroyed and disgusting and gross. And you're like, he wants to keep her pure as someone can be in this world. And I hope you never are one of us. In the way that I don't want you to be a monster, not like I don't want you to be part of the family. Like you can see how both those things can get kind of misconstrued. But she wants to be part of the gang, and she is a little bit psycho. Like she has a little bit of that like like a bloodlust. But I guess that's just normal for this kind of world. But she has a plan. She's like, hey, let's go steal we're gonna go to heaven. We're gonna steal one of these angel eggs, but we're gonna dress it up like the human egg of legend and destroy it. Then everyone will stop thinking about me being the human, because that's what that guy knew. The one that they killed he found out that she was human because she bleeds black blood, and that's why they were going to kill him. But it's super funny because we get this whole situation where she's just doing this to protect her identity as the human, because once they find out that she's the human, they're going to kill her. But if she's supposed to bring this like alleged end of this world, she hasn't done it yet. And why, being a human, why would that do that? Super weird. Again, more questions, we don't get answers. But she's like, hey, if we can fake this egg to make it look like the human egg and we kill it, everyone's going to be like, well, the human's dead. We had 10,000 more years of doing whatever we want before we need to worry about this problem again. Ain't no a sound plan, but you have to break into heaven and do all this other kind of stuff, and it's very dangerous. Dad's like, hey, I appreciate that you came up with this plan and all that, but you're the reason why we have to do this. The other guy found out that you were a human by accident because she got a nosebleed, and it's because she was looking at dirty magazines. It's like she was looking at a porn mag, and it, like, you know, in anime, your nosebleed. So that's how that guy found out. But in the past, she told people, and then they told someone, and they told someone, so he ended up killing a whole bunch of his own crew. And he's like, man, I was out of a cook and a waitress and all these things because you couldn't just keep your mouth shut. So some of these things are not her fault, but most of them are. But she came up with this plan to get everyone off her tail and people will stop worrying about it. Dad's like, okay, I guess we'll do it, but you know, you got to stick by me. That's the whole, you got to be like on my hip. So they go to Paradise Lost. If you remember, basically that old book is about the devil, you know, falling from heaven, you know, being cast out by God. Oh, you know, he chose these humans over me. It's a classic. Everyone should read it. So they get to heaven and they're all like robotic, but they're just as, I don't know, demonic looking as these evil, disgusting people. So it's again, very like the Has Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, where what's the difference between heaven and hell? There doesn't seem to be much of a difference, because you have like this guy who's like the general, or like, I guess the leader of the checkpoint, and they're sneaking in, right? And he treats his subordinates like crap. He's stomping on them. He's killing them at will. So there is no difference between heaven and hell. That's boring. It's played out. It's been done like in 1,000 shows, and this would be the third show recently that's used the same exact trope of, oh, you think it's bad, you know, with the demon people? Well, it's just as bad as in heaven. So what's the point of anything? And there's no humans in heaven. It's all just these like creatures. Super odd. But they're doing falsifying documents to get into heaven so they can break in and sell the egg. They get in there. They have their little plan, and they do it like a Ocean's 11 type thing, where it's like, oh, well, you're doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. Mud, which is like the goopy guy, he breaks into the security cameras and sees a guy he knew. He's like, oh, Joshua, hey, how's it going? It's like, oh, man, it's been like 600 years or whatever. He kills him. He just shoots him to take over the cameras. Like, I've always hated you. Everyone's a psycho in this. They come by a door, and then the butcher is like, hey, I'm going to change the plan. I'm going to take a little detour. You're going to stay here, wait at the stairs, upwards to heaven, and we'll meet up. And after I'm done doing this thing I got to do. So the dad has a thing that he's trying to take care of, but he's keeping secrets. Everyone has secrets. So she's like, what the heck? I thought you said we weren't going to separate. Like, we're going to do this together. He's like, oh, he starts getting pissed off, but then he cools off. He's like, hey, just trust me. I got something to take care of. When we get to the stairs, we'll go up together. So she's like, okay, whatever, kind of irritated because he's the one that brought up the whole let's not separate thing, and then he separates. We see another one of these angel guys doing like experiments on this giant egg. They even throw up like little question marks about what this egg is. Who knows what this is? It's a big, giant. And the angels are the crows we see flying around with the halos. I'm like, oh, those are the angels? And then what are these people? They're not angels. They're just like robots with brains. It's really weird. He gets there. He's like, hey, I think his name's Ken. That's like his like person name, not like his gangster name. It's like, I kept my promise. I didn't tell anybody. So he goes and they start a big old fight. He's going to just murder him. So I thought that was strange because if he hasn't told anyone in all this time, why would he tell them now? But I guess he just wants to close all the loose ends, loose lips sink ships. She doesn't wait for her dad. She just goes up the stairs to the hatchery, I guess, where they make the angels. And there's supposed to be an old lady looking after the eggs. And it's like a big giant bird. It's an old lady bird, but it's huge. So they had like misinformation. I wonder where she got that information. We don't get an answer to that. Go back to the dad. He's fighting that dude. She's fighting the bird, like dodging and jumping around, doing all kinds of stuff. It kind of reminds me of a boss fight like in Dark Souls. It really, really does. They're both having their fights. The dad beats that guy, and he's like trying to plead with them, and then he eats his brain. So I guess, is that a way to kill someone? Is to like devour them? And then like a psycho, he's all laughing and everything. I get back to the daughter. She's having her big old fight. She gets away from the bird. The bird's still chasing her. And then the dad's like, he gets up there and he's like, oh, don't our promises or pinky promises mean anything? And she's like, we'll talk about this later. We got to get out of here. We're going to freaking die. Everyone's doing their plan to help them escape because basically the plan with the pots. They're running out of there. Lots of cool visuals here. Like, look at this. Like the lightning looks like the claw. Look how cool that is. That's freaking awesome. But they get out. They got the egg. Then it's like, okay, now all we have to do is kill the egg and then we'll be fine. I feel bad for our human girl because she kind of has like a freak out about like, oh, I'm part of the gang now. I'm number one. But then she kind of just passes out. And you can see how the dad's like, I don't want you to be like us. I see you slowly but surely turning into a crazy psychopath like we are. But he looks like he doesn't want that life for her. But what kind of life can there be in this hellscape of a planet? And he even talks about, goes, hey, if we get caught, we're going to go to hell. And that is, you think what this earth is bad? When you go to hell, it's like never ending torture. Like other shows that have hell, but it's kind of like a cool place to go to. No, hell should be a horrible, terrible place you don't want to go to. Because like your face is buried in ice and they freeze you and they do all these tortures to you. And like, yeah, exactly. That's hell would be an awful place to go. So they're having a big ceremony, killing of the human. And it's very poetic because like the dad's talking about, oh, we have the human egg and this filthy human that lies in this egg will be destroyed and never walk this earth. But she's the human. So to hear her dad say all these things, it's kind of like, is he saying this to me? Like, am I taking this personally, or is he just, doing his showmanship? Like, oh, making the big speech about the human being discussing we got to kill it and destroy it. But she's the human. Look how sad she kind of looks as he's saying all these things. It kind of hurt my heart. They give the egg to her. She's going to put it on this pike and kill it. Egg starts to hatch. I don't know why she didn't kill it. I would have killed it right then and there. Why the hell was she waiting for? But it hatches and it's just a little crow baby. So it's a little angel baby. And then all the people are like, wait a minute, that wasn't a human. You're a liar. You guys are thieves and charlatans. You're just trying to fake us out. Then the episode basically ends with that. So we have these people who lied to the whole population. So are they going to be on the run now? That we have that giant crow was like, trying to take her back, saying the human belongs in heaven. Where's this going to go? Overall, pretty dang good. I liked it. It gave me a lot to think about, a lot to theorize about. it gave us way more explanation about how this world works in one episode than certain other shows did in whole entire seasons. Has been Hotel, where it makes more coherent sense than other shows. So yeah, I look forward to seeing more of this and see where it goes. I know this is a pilot, so they might retell this story or this episode again, but in a different way. But right where it stands, I'll check more of this out. It's a little gross. It does have its nasty disgustingness about it, but I guess this is like, they're not in hell. They're on Earth. They got turned into like a hell on Earth because of what humans did. So it kind of makes sense that everyone is disgusting and killing each other. But in these kind of worlds, there would also be lots of SA and stuff like that. And they always stay away from that, but it would happen and it would be like commonplace. But like that doesn't happen. It's gross. I wouldn't want to see it. But if you're going to tell a story about disgusting depravities, it's not just murder. There's other awful, horrible things people would do. But yeah, I kind of want to know what's going on in heaven. Is there a God? Is this a Christian heaven? Is there a Jesus Christ and, his disciples and stuff, they how they did in Has Been Hotel, where there's Peter and all them. So obviously, where's Jesus? And they don't ever explain it. But here it looks like it's just like there's no, I want to say authority. Like was there a leader up there? It was just the big crow that was hatching the eggs, but I don't think that was like a leader of the world. And is there a leader of this Gaslight town or whatever? Or this Gaslight district? Is there like a mayor or something? Or is it all just debauchery and just chaos at all times? But that's something we can learn in new episodes. And yeah, I'll definitely check this out if more episodes come out. And yeah, pretty good. I give it a 8.5 out of 10. That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.